ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to get underway. If everyone can find their seats and remember to enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome to Coming of Age Podcast.
Welcome.
This is a podcast about movies, good or bad. We love movies so much.
We watch them all the time.
We watch movies, we talk to you about how we feel about the movies. And this is one of your hosts over here. His name is Chase Cummins.
Oh, thank you, Alan. This is your other host, Alan Loosebrock.
Thank
the
you.
Amazing Alan Loosebrock.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. But I think you're amazing.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, man.
Today is a beautiful rainy day.
It's a beautiful rainy day.
In
It is.
Panama City, Florida.
Gotta love it. Yeah.
Gotta love this big bustling city that we live in.
It's so busy and fun.
And fun.
And fun.
It's so
and
fun.
beautiful on a rainy day.
But it's been a nice day. It's been a very nice day. Last night we watched a couple movies. This morning watched another movie. We're just gonna kind of talk about.
We're gonna talk about all of them.
We're gonna talk about all those movies that we watched.
I guess we'll start with the first movie. We'll just work our way chronologically through the movies we watched. So
we can tell you what movies we watched. See what you're getting yourself into. We watched Conan the Barbarian.
directed by John Milius.
1984, right?
82.
82. That's oh fuck me.
Yeah, you got it wrong.
1982. 1984 is when the second one came out with Grace Jones.
Yes. The one we're gonna have to watch.
Because
of
Grace Jones literally looks like Grace Jones in the movie and has no change.
It's kind of awesome. It fits right in.
Yeah, it looks good. And then last night we also watched Junun.
Junun. I think that's how they say it in the song. Junun.
With Paul Thomas Anderson directing,
Yeah.
Johnny Greenwood going to India and playing with some badass musicians from India.
Yes. And other countries, I'm pretty sure, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're all in India, but like it's a bunch of different ethnicities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bunch of different people doing it. It was
It's
awesome.
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
super great. And then today, just now, we just watched Putney Swope,
Putney Swope, directed by Robert Downey Sr.
which was amazing.
It was the nice way to top off the other two.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. A little bit of connections between those last two, but no
Paul
connection
Thomas
to
Anderson.
Conan.
Yeah, no. Conan's the outlier in this set.
But that's all right. Have you watched anything besides these things in the last
Yeah.
little while?
Jordan and I have been watching Mildred Pierce, the HBO miniseries that Todd Haynes directed. And it's awesome. It's
What is
really,
that?
Really good. What is it?
What is it? What's going on?
It's a period piece set in the 30s about a housewife who her husband and her get divorced and they've fallen on hard times, and then she, like, through a series of life events, ends up learning the restaurant trade and opening up a successful restaurant and a pie business. And then the real story is kind of about her and her oldest daughter and their, like, turmoil over the years, and Mildred's, like, constant, like, she's always trying to get her daughter's affection, and her daughter's, like, a spoiled brat and becomes, like, a sociopath and, like,
Sounds
a
really
narcissist. It's really good drama. It's got Kate Winslet. And
I'm like listening to you and I'm just thinking about like a 13-year-old listening to you being like, what? What the fuck did you say? It's a TV show?
This is a show.
I fucking hate you.
Yeah. Sorry, 13-year-olds of the world. They probably shouldn't watch this show. It's very R-rated, so
Yeah, they shouldn't do it.
don't do it. No, it's good. It's got Evan Rachel Wood in it. It's got Kate Winslet in it. It's got
Policing the 13-year-olds of the world.
It's got Guy
Listen, kids,
Pearce.
don't watch this shit.
It's good. It's a good show.
It's cool.
We're gonna finish it tonight.
Wow.
It's gonna be good. I've also been watching Altered Carbon.
You watched one episode.
3.
3 now?
I've seen 3.
Oh my god.
It's pretty good so far.
Can't believe you.
You gotta watch more.
I've never watched any. I don't know. I'm just like.
I don't know if I'm a fan of the main actor yet or not. I don't know his name. He's in The Killing.
I'm staying away from it for a second. Okay, so let me explain. I was pretty tired the other day after work, and I was like, what do I want to do? Like, I was going to look on HBO, you know, get a little buzz going on, hang out. I look at HBO, and it's like Alien Marathon. And I'm like, I know that I've never seen Alien 3.
Damn.
And like, it's the only one that I haven't seen.
You seen 4?
I've seen all of them, except for 3.
Wow.
Yes. And I was just like, I just remember hearing about, like, someone told me, I know exactly who told me, I won't name names just to, sorry, I'm not going to point fingers, but this fucking person being a little bitch that they were was like, yeah, there's like an alien dog. And really, it's just an alien pops out of a dog.
Yeah.
But there's no dog version of the xenomorph. And that's totally what I thought they meant.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I gotta watch that even if it's shitty. Sounds awesome and hilarious.
Pretty shitty.
The alien in that movie, after finding out that it's not a dog, that sucks. I was so mad.
They're like alien
But then
dog.
also it's like claymation animation. Like it's super weird, like stop motion shit.
It's like
that you're like
90s
it looks like
effects.
what the fuck? Like dude, like
It
how
looks so
how
good.
is this so bad?
Yeah, it looks so good in the 70s and the 80s. Why
Really,
does it look so
yeah, it
bad?
looks pretty good. But like
the original movie and the sequel to the original movie look great. Like they both the sequel has so many aliens.
it
in
just jumps like around too. It's just like what the fuck? Like why? I don't know.
My biggest problem with the third movie is that they killed a little girl in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And they like totally ruined like the potential happy ending of Aliens. And they did it against the wishes of like every creative person involved. The studio just like made them do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? You just killed off like 2 of the best characters that they had.
It's like they're like, let's start Aliens
over.
3 just like how Aliens started.
Yeah.
Like kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what happens. They like find her body and stuff. But it's like it doesn't work when like Aliens was supposed to end pretty happy. Like
Aliens
they
ends with them
defeated
escaping.
and it's just like
Oh, by the way, there's
shit.
another alien. Fuck you. And you killed a little girl? You're moralists. You fucking assholes.
Yeah, and it's just not good in general. Like
No,
I'm just
it's
like,
just not a good movie, yeah. And David Fincher disowned it.
really?
Yeah, like or way earlier in his career, he was like, I don't consider that part of my filmography. Even though it was his first fucking film.
Well, I mean, it's
'Cause
better
there's so
than
much
like
studio
him
involved.
having gone into it like for a while, like done other films and then do that and then like disown
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Like
he's
it's much better to like
he's just
he
like,
just
I
got
agree.
signed onto this project. It was a good opportunity, probably.
It's his first like directing
Yeah.
job, and then it's just like the studio is just like, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, reshoot this, and he's like, what the fuck you know.
Yeah.
And then they do it because it's his first time. And then he made good movies after that, so I guess he's like,
Not great movies.
he's in some David Fincher.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the Alien franchise.
The Alien franchise can't get any better.
No,
It got bad.
definitely not.
I like Alien 4, kind of.
Resurrection.
Yeah. Jean-Pierre Jeunet directed that. And it's like, it just doesn't even feel like an Alien movie. It's just super weird.
Yeah. Well, like that's how the Alien movie should feel. Like
Yeah.
the first Alien movie, like it wasn't like a fucking horror movie. Like
It became one by the end, but yeah.
yeah, but it wasn't like
It was just taking itself seriously as a sci-fi movie. And it was good.
it was great. So many good shots in that.
Yeah. It's all
It's
well
awesome.
shot.
But like the thing about the Alien franchise is that people look for those iconic things in every single movie.
Well, that's the bummer.
It's like Star Wars, where you have to have a lightsaber, you have to have the Force, you have to have fucking a mention of the Skywalkers, you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to have the Empire, you have to have, otherwise it's not a Star Wars movie. Same thing with Alien. It's just like, you have to have a xenomorph, you have to have fucking android, you have to have the android become evil. It's like, why does the android always have to be evil? You want it to be evil, is the bad part. Like, you're like, hell yeah, android's gonna be bad.
The first movie, he wasn't even evil. He was just, was
logically
stuck. Well, he had to stick to the business parameters. Like, he was given a directive and he had to follow the directive at any cost, and he was told at any cost. The android itself wasn't evil. It was just it was cold. Yeah, it was programmed to be like cold, like to finish the mission.
Yeah.
So like by now, like Michael Fassbender's character in the new ones, and he's just like he's purely decided to be like against humanity or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, that's the weirdest part about like Prometheus, where David is just like interested to see what happens when he like fucks over this human.
Yeah.
When he puts like the drop in his glass.
But he's not following company directive or anything. And
yeah,
it's
he's
supposed
just
to be
like
a prequel, and it's a more advanced AI.
Yeah, he's just like trying to, like, he's just like interested.
Yeah.
Like, is what you can.
That's what it seems like. He's just like curious.
Like. Yeah, you're just like, oh, see what happens to this fucking biological mess.
Yeah. It sucks though.
So that's odd. I love his character. That's the worst thing about like wanting to see those films is like, you're like, I just want to see Michael Fassbender be this character, but like I'm not truly invested or love him. Yeah. But you still want to see it.
When I saw Covenant in theaters, the first scene where it's like him learning to play the piano with Guy Pearce, and it's awesome. You're like, oh,
it's great. The very first scene is awesome.
You're like, this is gonna be a great movie.
And then immediately is so bad. Like, that was amazing.
That opening scene was great.
Scene.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah. And then it got terrible.
And that's the thing, like, Ridley Scott, like, he really gets, like, some things right. And then he just, I don't think he stays focused or, like...
He's just getting old, I think.
Yeah.
He's, like, a good example of a director who got old and his like, skill is... He's getting sloppy.
Yeah.
He's, like, pandering to an audience and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas before, he was, like, trying to make films that he liked. And now he's like, well, I don't think audiences will get this. I'm going to make it this way because audiences will like this better.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally, the director's cut of the original Alien is shorter and the action scenes are longer than they were in the original movie because he thought that people's attention spans would be, like, they wouldn't get it. So he just, like, made a shorter version of the movie. It's faster paced.
Really?
Yeah.
So the director's cut is
so you have
shorter?
to watch the theatrical cut to
get, like, the cool shit.
Yeah, to get the best part of the movie, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's weird.
That's very weird. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
God, Ridley Scott's got a weird brain.
Yeah. He's got a money-driven brain.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I hate it, but at the same time, he gave me. He gave me. He gave me Alien and Blade Runner, so I'm kind of happy. Those are great movies.
But anyhow,
did you watch anything else?
I don't know. I've been watching a little more of The Deuce, which is dope. The Deuce, which is dope.
So good.
I got like 3 eps left.
3 eps? You're at 3 eps?
Yeah, I got 3 eps left.
It's good eps.
I like
those are some good eps.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, you're gonna like that.
About it. But I haven't been watching much else. New episode of High Maintenance. Can't wait. Haven't watched it. Stoked. Love that show.
I gotta catch up on that show. I've watched with you. It's so good.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good.
But anyway, we watched a movie called Conan the Barbarian.
Yes, we did.
And
let me tell you, what a movie.
Thought it was gonna be ridiculous as shit, which it was a lot of the time.
It was ridiculous.
But there's a lot of good parts too.
Okay, so this movie, I am so conflicted about Conan.
What are your initial, like, before you even watched the movie, like, what did you think of the movie? Because I have my pretenses.
My pretense was originally, I'll walk you through it, was originally, this is an absurd, bad B movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger that was probably a little like overly violent, and it became like a cult film, and people like it because it's so bad, and it's Arnold, and he's playing some kind of like medieval like hero, but he's like
idiot.
Yeah, but he's Arnold, and it was like early in his career. I don't know if it's before Terminator, but I think it.
Oh, it's definitely before Terminator.
I think it might be before Terminator.
Yeah.
So, that was my initial conception. Then I watched a documentary on John Milius probably 2 or 3 years ago, and after learning about what he made,
this is a long pretense story.
I know it's a long
spans
many years.
Long time.
I thought it was one thing, and then after I watched that documentary, I was like, oh, it's probably a well-made, violent medieval film.
That people coldly like because it's
people
so
coldly like because it's so bad. So I don't know.
Yeah, the only things that I knew from it were just a lot of clips that like people would like, just like the internet age, like GIFs and clips and fucking like the Fartzenegger is a YouTube video where it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger farting.
When he's crucified.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good clips from that, and I'm just like, this is a ridiculous film.
Yeah.
And also Dan Deacon's Ultimate Reality.
That had a big impact on what that movie was to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't even matter like what films are used. You just think differently. Like if you haven't seen them, I guess I don't know.
I haven't seen
like most of Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies in the '80s and like early '90s like are pretty much. Like they're not B movies, but they're B movies. Like they are.
But they were
like they were A movies, but like.
But like Terminator's so good.
Terminator's really good.
Terminator
Judgment Day is the shit.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is the shit. And then True Lies is fucking awesome. And
but like Total Recall.
Total Recall's amazing.
Total Recall's amazing, but at the same time, it just feels like.
I know, but that's Paul Verhoeven. He did but he was making A movies. If you think about it, RoboCop. Total Recall, Basic Instinct with Sharon Stone's fucking
cleavage.
Yeah. Like Pussy Shot. It's her fucking vagina.
Sharon Stone.
Like as an A movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas, like, and there's so many rip-offs of that movie. Fatal Attraction was a rip-off of that movie. It's a pretty good movie though.
Yeah.
And then he like, so those are A movies. Like, but we think of them now as B movies. They're awesome.
They are awesome.
They're awesome. They're awesome.
But I don't know. It's just the feel of it now. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's just us living in 2018 now, watching this, and we're like, oh, but like that was a long time ago. So
like 40 years ago, the show was
it's
good.
still pretty fucking good, honestly. Okay. I'm just saying that's how I felt about the movie before I watched it.
Yeah, for sure.
Before I watched it.
For sure.
So we watched it last night, put it on immediately, put it on right when we freaking got home and were available to put it on.
Yeah.
We freaking scrambled.
Ate that Thai food real fast.
We're like, we're putting this
I
on.
watched the Conan Barbarian movie.
Freaking put it on. Let's see. We got some trumpets coming up in the credits. I don't remember what the opening credits were at all.
It was like, what were the opening credits? Fuck me.
It was them forging the sword.
That was it.
That's what it was.
And then he throws the sword and it was wobbling and you were like, that's a fucking terrible
that was
sword.
during the battle. That was
Yeah.
during the battle. That was later.
Was that later?
But anyway, they spent all this time forging this magical fucking amazing sword in the beginning. And then the sword falls in the snow during a battle scene and literally wobbles
Looks like
around looks like the thinnest piece of fucking plastic. Just like sticking to the ground. You're like, oh no. So that wasn't good. But there were a lot of, whatever.
The opening sequence had some moments where I was like, that's awesome. Like when James Earl Jones gets off his horse and there's that silent interaction for what feels like forever between Conan's mother and him.
Well, also he starts turning around and
just
it
looking at
kind of
him?
looks funny at first. Like you're like, what the fuck? And he's like still staring, but he's turning around. Then he turns around, and then the next shot is him just like fucking lopping her head off, turning
Yeah.
all the way around 360 degrees, baby.
Yeah, and then the shot where she falls and Conan's still got his hand in the air, and it cuts to the reverse angle where it's his point of view, and you see his hand like right in the middle of the frame, and like the way that whole shot is staged, I was like, oh, that's epic
James Earl
looking.
Jones' character is in the background, like looking with the sword, and little Conan is just holding up his hand where he was holding his mother's hand.
And they shot it in that like wide anamorphic shit, so it's like 70 millimeter wide screen. Anamorphic lenses, you know. They're like those wide
that comes
lenses.
in later. There are animorphs in this movie.
There are.
It's beautiful.
But that shot's awesome, and at that moment I was like,
you were like, oh shit, there's gonna maybe there's gonna be some good shit.
Movie.
Yeah. It was very dope, and like also like the way James Earl Jones looks is like pretty sweet. You just at
first you're like, why the fuck did they give him like Rachel from Friends' like wig? And
they're wearing these helmets that are just like flattening their hair. You just didn't think that that's exactly what they were going for.
Yeah, but I think it was. And James Earl Jones did look awesome.
He did.
He was probably my favorite part about that whole movie.
He was dope. I liked it a lot. So then they get done raiding the town, and whoever is in charge of child labor takes Conan and captures him. And then they start trudging across like the desert with all this like fucking children, this children caravan. They're all tied up and shit.
And they make them push a wheel.
And they make them push a wheel.
And then there's that time lapse, like it's him growing up, and he just keeps pushing the wheel. And then they finally have made the transition from him being a child to him being a grown up, all through the pushing of the wheel. And then it goes on for 5 more minutes of him going through all the seasons as an adult. And at that point, I was like, they should have cut away from this a while ago.
Yeah, and also it makes it seem like he's literally done nothing else but push
the
the wheel since like
he's not stopped to eat or drink or have a nap.
Yeah, and then eventually they cut away and he's chilling, and I'm like, yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they'd be chilling sometime.
Yeah. That's a long time to just you go from summer to being an adult to being in the winter.
But I can't remember what's the transition between him like becoming a champion, like.
Well, he just starts fighting in like fight to the death gambling pit things or something.
Yeah, someone like pick him or something. I can't remember.
He's like a gladiator of sorts. It seems like. And it's really quick. This movie transitions with a bunch of cross dissolves.
Oh yeah, like there's literally just a scene, and then it'll dissolve into the next scene, and you're like, oh, I don't know if that scene was over.
Yeah, it felt like an older movie to me. I think like even older than 80s because it just dissolved into each scene dissolved into each other. Yeah, instead of there being like
it seemed like it was like Star Trek, like the TV show, like
it felt like
the original
like.
Series, like it would just dissolve. Like, oh, all right, well,
that scene's over. Shit.
But so it like cuts to some guy about to get murdered by Conan because he's the champion. You know, he's not gonna die. It's early in the movie. He starts fighting this dude, and it's fucking brutal.
Yeah,
like it's pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hell yeah, like good shit.
Yeah.
It's literally just Arnold Schwarzenegger noises for like a fucking solid minute, maybe minute 30. Like, like him just fighting is literally those noises, and that's the only time really in that movie because the rest of the fucking movie he barely talks.
He barely speaks. He doesn't make that.
Talks every once in a while, but like he definitely doesn't make his Arnold noises, except for that fucking fight.
For whatever reason. No. He does it a little bit during the snake fight later on. He's fighting the snake in the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snake pit.
The snake pit. And that snake pit.
But yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, that was what I was kind of expecting for the whole movie. But then there was like moments where you're just like super bored, and then there's moments where he's punching camels in the face.
Oh
and
my
you
god!
laughing your ass
we
off.
did not look it up if like that
That was real. Oh, we had to look
Literally, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, they were drunk in some scene, and they're just like fucking around because they're like having a good time, stealing everything. They're like a band of thieves, pretty much. And they're doing well, so they're just drunk in the city, fucking doing whatever they want. They just start laughing at these people, and then they look. Arnold Schwarzenegger looks at this camel.
He bumps into it, and
he's just like, ha ha, ha, punches it right in the face,
and it falls down, like it topples over.
The camel does a very good job of acting.
Yeah.
So you're interested to know if this is a real camel that he fucking punched in the face. I don't know how else they would have done it.
But like they cut, so I don't know, because the fall, like, when the camel falls, it's a different angle.
It's a different angle. For
sure. They either did it multiple times and he punched a camel in the face, or they used the one take where he actually hit the camel in the face at the first angle and then staged the fall.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what happened there. But it looked very real.
It was, yeah.
It looked very convincing. It was like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
Punch that camel.
Kind of fucked. So fucked up. Oh my god. And like the sex scene's so weird when he has sex with that like demon, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Who like is just like, she just invites him in, come in, and he like, you need warmth.
Yeah.
And he goes in there, and he's like totally freaked out. Like you can tell, he looks weird as fuck. And he's just chilling in her bed, and she comes in, and like they start fucking, and the lights start changing and shit. And she's saying all this crazy shit. Like, if you were fucking someone and they were saying all of this like future shit to you, like telling you what's gonna happen, and like just describing weird shit about your destiny, I'd be like, what the dude, like later. Like not
right now.
Not right now. This is not cool. But then she like turns into a fucking demon.
Turns into like a crazy looking demon. And then he throws her in the fire.
He throws her in the fire, and then coolest effect of the movie, like I feel like, is when like her spirit escapes the fire and it goes through like the wall.
Yeah.
Like all the things on the wall, and then it escapes out the door. Like that looked really good. They did a very good job of that. I was very surprised.
That part and the part where they're trying to bring him back or like keep him from dying. And
all the ghosts are
like the ghosts,
the little like ghouls are like on him,
and then the girl and I forget her name, and his like archer thief friend,
Cheech Marin, trying to fucking fight them off.
Yeah, that part's awesome.
Yeah, it was very like, it wasn't like fantastic, like, you know, I don't know, it wasn't like great special effects, but how they used it was just like very awesome. Smart, and like it was interesting. You know, I liked it a lot.
I did too. Somebody's gonna go over that. Those were probably my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I thought the scene where they were sneaking in to kidnap the princess, and they painted themselves in all that weird war paint. Like that was just fucking ridiculous sequence.
It was very ridiculous.
They like go in on the orgy and stuff, and you're like, why are you? Because they all discussed beforehand, like, we're not going to kill anybody. We're just going to grab the princess and go. And then they dress up like they're ready for battle, and they literally murder as many people as they possibly can by the time they have escaped. They've killed so many people. Yeah.
What's the part where there's all this music? Oh, he fucking punches one of the, I don't even know what the fuck they are. They're like nuns or some shit. There's some sort of religious figures that are wearing this garb. He punches one out and like fucking takes their shit.
Oh yeah. The girl does that when they're first sneaking into the tower.
Yeah, but Arnold Schwarzenegger's in one at one time.
Oh, he takes that guy who's like hitting on him, and he's like, you need to get empty. You have to be empty. He's like, I'm too shy. Will you come around the corner and kiss me?
It's so weird. Yeah. How do you expect to be empty if you're not going to show your body? Like, it's so
And
weird.
he's like
this guy's creepy as fuck.
I'll come around the corner with you. And like,
He
it's like
takes-
very
he just-
homoerotic.
Yeah,
And,
and
then,
then-
Schwarzenegger knocks him the fuck out and steals his uniform, which then fits him
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah.
Even
And
despite
then
him being twice that
He
man's
starts
size.
following around this girl, like, because they're like, he's just following her around because they're like both the same, like in charge or whatever. I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck's going on. There's all this music playing throughout the whole movie that confuses you so much because
That was my biggest problem.
You're just like, this music has been going on for so long through these scenes that I've not been paying attention because it all sounds the same, and it's just like so fucking boring.
The music was my least favorite part, and they were playing music that didn't feel appropriate for the scenes you were watching at certain points
Yeah.
too. Where it's like, this is making it seem funny, or this music's making it seem like light when they're murdering people and they're like fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
Or it like, I don't know, it was just like out of place in a lot of parts, and it was really long. Like every scene had to be underscored with a score.
And a lot of the music doesn't even seem relevant. Like,
No.
like even when like he gets to like when he first gets to that wheel and that kid's sitting there and shit, like it literally sounds like it should be like and he's like,
Yeah.
welcome to New York, kid, come on, hop on in. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you're
Woody
just
Allen
like-
walks out and goes,
he's like, why is this playing? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's just strange musical choices the entire film, and it really pulls you out of some scenes. And then there's like the other one moment I really, not one, but I obviously like several things in this movie, but like the other part that I really liked is when he first meets Thulsa Doom, and he's like, "You girl up there, come to me," and she just jumps to her death.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Now that is power."
That
And like that
was
whole
amazing.
yeah, that whole speech and stuff was like, that's fucking crazy.
It was dope. Dude, like, he's just like, you come to me.
Yeah.
She just jumps off and kills herself.
Yeah, and I love how he's just like, that's power. Like humanity, like we're the ones who yield the power, and that's more
that's
powerful
flesh.
than any
He's talking about flesh.
She's like, that's more powerful than any weapon that you have. Is like that. And it like I thought that was like the implications of that. That was like really fucking dark and
It
like
was.
awesome. Yeah.
It was crazy.
And
What I was getting to with him dressed up and everything, they're like looking up at the sky, him and that girl or whatever that like who has now been in the movie. She's just dressed up like him, one of those religious types.
Yeah.
And they're both looking up in the sky or something. I can't remember exactly. Maybe you remember. But she says, "What do you see?" And the music stops and she says, "What do you see?" And he says, infinity."
That's right. I remember infinity.
He says,
Yeah.
infinity.
Yeah.
And then the
And
music
they-
just starts again.
And they like,
And they, like,
it was like a he was like blending in. It was like a montage sequence of him like blending in. Infinity.
she's like, good enough for me. And then they just
She's
keep
like,
on going.
It was like she's like, oh my god, like she just had a revelation.
It's so funny.
Yeah. That movie definitely had moments.
Absolutely. But it definitely had big dry spells too.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Ooh.
Knocking shit over.
I don't even fucking remember where I was going at the end. They were like climbing up that fucking mountain or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of fell asleep and then woke up right when the climax was over.
He like they like defeat them in battle, right? At that like outpost or whatever. And he's already prayed to the gods and all this stuff, and he's like, his one thing's like, give me revenge. And then everyone's dead except Thulsa Doom, and he shoots another snake arrow at the captured princess, and she's like screaming like, don't kill me, don't kill me.
Snake arrow is tight.
And then the fucking thief archer guy saves her, and then Thulsa rides off, and then Arnold like chases after him, and then goes through the back entrance and murders all the guards, and Thulsa Doom's giving a speech to all his people, and then Schwarzenegger comes out, and then that was actually kind of a cool part. He's like sitting there and he's like, I'm your father. You're my son. Like, who else is your father but me? What purpose do you have in life if I'm dead? Your whole life is about getting revenge on me, and if I'm gone, then what purpose do you even have? Like, come to me, son.
Yeah.
And Schwarzenegger has like a moment where he's just like, oh shit. like the existential crisis of like, if I kill you, everything that I've ever lived my life up to like is done. Like I've got my revenge. What do I do next? And he like seemingly stops, and then he's just like, fuck you, and he cuts his head off in front of everyone, and it's like kind of badass.
Very nice. It's like the fucking shit that like Joker says to Batman.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, no.
You need me. Yeah, but that's how that ended. And then it was good. For a little bit.
Wonderful.
And then it
Love the credit sequence.
gets so stupid at the credit sequence. But yeah, so that was...
He like fell in love like so quick.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like brute. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he fell in love with the other thief, and like it was a montage.
Mm-hmm.
They win. She's like,
They're like eating grapes in the tub together. She's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Conan,
Conan, what
I
happened?
thought you were cool.
You were raping people earlier.
Wow, that's okay. I
Get that.
I didn't mean cool.
Just more. You were.
Thought you were a little rougher. Sorry. Thought you were a little rougher around the edges. Didn't mean.
It's
cool.
just out of character. Is what we mean.
Holy fuck. Oh,
That's Conan.
that's kind of the Barbarian. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I'm sure a lot of you have not.
Yeah. If you have seen it and you love this movie, we're sorry if you don't agree with us, but we're not sorry because that's how we feel about it.
Well, I feel like this isn't another movie that like if I had seen it like a fuck ton of times when I was a kid or something,
Yeah.
I would probably love it and just have some weird other understanding of it, but like
Yeah.
I didn't. It was the first time I watched it last night.
Yeah. And you're
So-
it's like snap take. You're like, this is a movie.
Yeah,
It has
exactly.
good moments. It's not completely like shitty.
Yeah, not at all. But I can see meeting someone who, you know, like if someone in your
Who's
family
diehard
just
about it.
fucking loved it,
Yeah.
you would probably love it too, just because it'd be fun.
Yeah. You have fun watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not the case for me.
Not for me. Probably won't watch it again.
Probably won't ever watch that shit again.
I
I probably will.
I probably will watch Conan the Destroyer, and then 20 years from now, I'll rewatch Conan the Barbarian and be like, eh. And then I will
We'll
watch
just
the
be in
sequel.
VR Conan the Barbarian.
Now that might be fucking cool. That would be a different kind of experience.
Probably not. It would be terrible.
Yeah, you'd be
Just do
scared.
something else.
Oh, God.
Just go to a park. Just want to walk a dog, any dog.
Just give me to a
Just
dog.
any old dog. Just let me go hang out with some pups.
I can't hang out in this world anymore. Give me a puppy.
But next movie you watched immediately after that because we didn't want to talk to you guys at all.
Yeah, we didn't want to talk about this. We wanted to keep drinking wine and watching TV. So
We were like, I was just like, oh my god, we cannot fill an entire podcast with Conan.
we did 40 minutes.
It's not good enough.
It's not.
You gotta keep listening. We watched Junun
Junun.
by Paul Thomas Anderson. We told you earlier.
Yeah.
Johnny Greenwood playing lots of music with some cool chaps.
And it's a fucking great movie, and there's not much we can say about it other than like it's entertaining. You can kind of zone out and just listen, and it's a fucking great time.
Yeah, it's even like
And-
something that you can like. Obviously, I'm sure they released a soundtrack for it.
It's not even a soundtrack. It's the album.
It's the album, yeah. It's the album. The album's probably even like longer than the movie.
Oh yeah, the album's solid. It's like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, it's like something that like you can almost just buy the album, but it's interesting to watch the process of like
Of them
it's surely
making it.
just like
You're like in
them
the room with
making the
them.
recording.
What I liked about the way he shot is like it feels like you're there.
Yeah,
You're watching and you're just like you're kind of part of the experience, and like like the way he'll frame certain shots, you're like, oh, that's just something I'd see in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Like he'll get out through the doorway and frame them through the doorways and stuff like that, which is such a PTA thing. If you look at all his movies, he just like constantly is just like shooting through doorways and like framing people like that. So you like feel like you're there and you're like, oh, this is still a PTA movie, but then there's like a home video quality to it. It's like
Yeah.
the camera kind of shakes and he's moving around and like it's a little rough around the edges, and it just
Well, it seems like he's just having so much fun,
yeah.
like being there and doing it and just like wanting to work.
Yeah,
like,
he's just like
even-
working, yeah.
Yeah, and he like loves it so much that he's just like excited. You can like feel that through the camera work almost.
Yeah.
Like you can feel his excitement and his joy that he's like doing this.
And you can tell he's like he does a lot of like 360 shots in it, and there'll be moments where like certain instruments are coming in, and he knows they're about to come in, and so he'll like be moving his camera right to them right when they're, and you can like almost feel like him like, being excited that he like nailed the target.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is cool. It is very cool.
I love that like every time they do the drone, you can see like him and like a couple other people standing below it, and they're all just like everyone does with the drone. They're all just like, oh, it's a fucking drone. It's awesome.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
We have a drone and just like, yes,
Yes,
it's looking at me.
So it's funny, and like I don't know, I really liked it. And the soundtrack's awesome. The music they were making
The
is
music is amazing. Like
Yeah.
already without Johnny Greenwood, but Johnny Greenwood just takes it to that fucking next
that next
level.
level.
That, like,
He's using some sampling and like playing guitar.
oh yeah, when he starts doing that, like it's just such a good blend
Mm-hmm.
of like different styles of music that like somehow comes together so good.
Yeah, and they make just like a really solid album.
It's really cool.
They definitely want to listen to the full like
Yeah, for sure.
once it's been produced and stuff. So that's on Spotify, I believe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna listen to it a lot.
I'm going to too. I've been listening to the Phantom Thread soundtrack a lot
Oh
because it's just like
yeah,
so
I need to
good.
do that because I've seen the movie obviously, but like making art and just like I don't know, writing or anything like to like
that kind
other
of
Johnny
music.
Greenwood soundtracks. I've done that before and that's been amazing. Like the Masters soundtrack and
love
also
that
like
soundtrack.
There Will Be Blood. Like it's so great.
Even his Inherent Vice soundtrack's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
and
for
that,
sure.
And when you listen to that album, it's sprinkled in with like old great 70s songs and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, Neil Young and
Can.
and, yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Simba.
Simba.
I can't remember who's that by. It's so good.
Yeah, that's a great
I
one.
love it so much.
It's a great one.
Um,
God, I couldn't speak more highly of a director. Just constantly like catching me off guard with his movies, making
Seriously.
something I want to watch over and over again for one reason or another. Like they're all different. It's great.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's
He's
just
so
so
good.
good.
He's so
Yeah.
awesome, like so cool, like as a person too. Like just listening to him talk. He's very interesting, but like he's not like some pretentious asshole. Like he's super cool and just down to earth.
He doesn't even like to talk about his movies that much, which I really like. He's just like, yeah, maybe.
Well, like even like the answers that he gives to like, oh, what's that about? He's just like, oh, you know, like,
It's not
like
family. You know, yeah, we know it's about that. We knew it was about that. But he doesn't want to say what he thinks it's about. He wants
Yeah,
you to
exactly.
fucking watch it. Yeah. Those movies are about a lot of things to
Yeah.
me. I feel like a lot of those movies are about control. They're about losing control. You know, they're about fate. Like he's dealing with heavy shit.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love him.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh.
Oh, thanks, guys. All right. Well, and speaking of PTA, we watched one of his great influences films today, Robert Downey Sr.'s Putney Swope,
Yes.
which has had a massive impact on all Paul Thomas Anderson movies and Jim Jarmusch movies and other filmmakers as well. And I would say Airplane even has like
Yeah, so much.
like
like
influence on that and on Mel Brooks,
yeah,
who's in the movie.
yeah, and I didn't even know
Yeah.
until I saw the.
I actually didn't know. I've seen it twice before this, and I didn't know he was in it.
I don't know who he plays, but
It said he was like office man or something. I think he's just like he probably had one line.
he's like Mister something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. But
Yeah,
he
I
was pretty
remember.
early up in the credits. I was like, what the fuck? Mel Brooks
Mel
is in
Brooks?
this movie? Al Green's in this movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Huggy Bear, the original Antonio Vargas,
Yeah.
How you guys in this
It's
movie?
dude, there's so much you can say about this movie, and there's no way it'll ever be spoiled. Like if you've never seen it, like
It's truly it's a cinematic experience.
like
You can't-
there's nothing that we can say that's going to make you experience this movie because
You have to watch it.
you have
literally
to absolutely watch it.
Yeah.
It's like it's such a mix of like other movies that you've seen that like I just
This predates all
other
of
movies
it.
that I've seen at least.
Yeah.
And it predates them all, and I'm just like, what the fuck? How have I never watched this? It's crazy.
It's so good.
It's like Naked Gun and Airplane and Blazing Saddles and like Mel Brooks and just Leslie Nielsen, like those movies like mixed together, but it's also like way more absurd and like
more surreal.
and I just don't know if I actually get what's going on or like what's going on isn't something that you get. It's just like it's so crazy. I need to watch it again for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely worth multiple rewatches. For my third watching now, it was my third time seeing it. From what I can tell, the basic story is there's an advertising agency, the head of the company dies, in a secret ballot vote, Putney Swope, the only African American or black man in the board of directors who is only in charge of music, ends up getting voted in, fires all the other people, reinvents the ad agency. It's called Truth and Soul Advertising, and then through a series of absurd events and business dealings with the president and his like cronies, he becomes corrupt and begins doing exactly what he set out to change when he got voted in. And then at the very end of the movie, everyone around him has become corrupt and he walks away. And then Huggy Bear burns everything down. And that's how it ends. So that's like I feel like kind of what's going on. Like,
Okay.
basic
See,
plot.
I did not get that.
Yeah.
I thought that he was an alright dude from like the first couple interactions between him and I can't remember who else, like around the table. But then immediately when he got voted on, I was like, oh, this is a bad dude. This guy's all, not that he was a bad dude, but he was like,
I think you watch him like literally like, and it's subtle enough, but like he literally goes from being like a good intentioned guy to being exactly like the white owners beforehand, like racist, bigoted, and corrupt.
yeah. He like literally
And only
hates
concerned about
everyone's
money, yeah.
ideas.
And he
Like,
steals them
and then he
all.
steals them and then
Yeah.
he uses them.
Yeah, and then you get to watch the ads, which are some of the funniest parts of the
Dude,
movie.
so fucking good.
And when it cuts to the ads,
The ads
yeah.
are so good, dude.
Yeah. No shit.
Ethereal cereal is so fucking good. I don't know what they call him. They're like,
Ethereal cereal.
Carl, did you know when you're eating these heavenly oats
Yeah,
that
it just
you
goes-
are getting blah blah blah?
It's so long and realistic and zooming in on his face. Like eventually
They're just telling him all the like nutritional facts and like what he's gaining from eating that cereal.
like, right
and
there.
then they finally get all the way up to his face and he's just like, no shit. It's so good. It's amazing. I loved it so much.
It's such a good joke. I loved the herpes or the acne cream face off ad where they're singing about like how they met, and it's like the most like unromantic, descriptive like way.
Yeah,
of
just straightforward like
interracial
saying, like,
couple met in the
it's so
60s.
weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
The movie seems to be about like the white power structure and like corruption and the portrayal of African Americans in like media and stuff. I don't know, it's interesting. So it's like dealing with a lot of like politically and socially like taboo and like relevant
charged subjects.
yeah,
really.
subject matter, but doing it in such a funny and absurd way where it's like it almost feels like they just like said, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. And it's so fucking funny.
It is really fucking hilarious. And I feel like there's so much that's like maybe it's just out of date for me, or I just don't know enough. You know, I need a history lesson about that movie. I think like
Yeah, there's
to
definitely
like get
yeah.
a lot of what's going on as well.
There's definitely like humor that's derived out of like you knowing like topical shit that was going on in 1969, like obscure topical stuff that was
sure.
going on then. Yeah.
a lot of political stuff that it's just like if you're not there, you don't exactly get.
You don't get the
you don't get
joke,
the full
or
joke.
you
don't have the same feeling, you know.
Yeah, but like irregardless of what you know about the time period or anything, like just as going in blind, knowing nothing about the civil rights movement, nothing about the like blaxploitation genre, like anything, just like blindly watching this movie, it's still quite the experience.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
And you can still get something out of it. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's super entertaining.
Yeah,
it's so entertaining. Putney Swope, he's got that girl on his bed, and she's like, "I'm gonna bend your jaws."
I'm ready for it.
That's another thing. His voice,
which is Robert Downey Sr.'s voice,
is literally just dubbed. Like, yeah. I don't know if they probably filmed all of it and then he dubbed it.
Arnold, apparently, the trivia for it says Arnold Johnson had a difficult time memorizing his lines. So they had to do shots like multiple times. And the entire time Robert Downey Sr. was directing it, he devised he knew he was going to dub it with his own voice. And so he would just like coach him through the lines during the takes.
Yeah.
Like off camera, you'd hear him.
Because it didn't matter.
Yeah, because he would feed him the line, and then he'd say the line, and then he'd dub out that, and it would be his voice anyways.
Yeah.
So that's how he did it. Yeah.
It's so good.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious because they do it to other people.
They do it to other people, and then certain ones have their own voices, and then it's just like a hodgepodge. Yeah. It like, and the budget for that movie is not big. Like, he made that full movie in like pretty small amount of money.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's impressive.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The President Mimeo or whatever.
Mimeo, yeah.
Yeah, it's just this little woman.
I don't know.
It's a woman or it's a man. I don't know.
It's an odd looking person.
Yes, it's just a smaller person, and
not just a smaller, because you're just like he's not a midget. Or a dwarf, or whatever is the correct term, and
he's not. What do you mean?
But he is, but he's not. But he's like the proportions of his body aren't like the same as dwarfism. Like, he doesn't have like the smaller arms. Like, he doesn't look like Vern Troyer or something like that. He looked like a short person, like a small person, but like not dwarfed. I don't know what the right term is.
Oh my god!
It's just not. It's not a dwarf. It's a very odd-looking person. He doesn't look like a normal human.
It's a little different, guys. It's a little different. It's good style of dwarf. Also, Miss the First Lady, even smaller. They obviously hired these two people knowing what they were doing, knowing full well.
Yeah. That
people think it was entertaining, and I feel sort of bad. Enjoying the entertainment too, because I'm like totally still
laughing.
I'm laughing and I love it, and
like
just like
the photographer is
you're
just
trying to be like I don't know, this fucking political correctness bullshit in your mind, which is not all bullshit, but I'm just saying
it's not all bullshit, but that movie is really like disregard political correctness.
Absolutely.
Like, it doesn't matter. We're all gonna make fun. It's like South Park. It's like, we're gonna make fun of fucking everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's fucking off limits.
Yeah. It's like just in comedy in general. Like, if you can't laugh at everything,
Yeah, it's that whole thing. If one thing's not funny, then nothing is funny. Like, everything's funny or nothing is funny.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have one or the other.
You have to laugh at everything because it's like something's offending everyone.
Yeah. Well,
something's offending some group,
Yeah.
And that whole thing is so funny with them, and like when the president's trying to explain to the president and his wife, what is he talking about? He's trying to explain some like issues. And his right-hand man is just making jokes. And they just start laughing and laughing.
He's like smoking a joint.
Mr. President.
Yeah, he's
Mr. President. And they're just like,
for a while.
It's so long.
At least a minute and a half of that is just them laughing and smoking a joint. And him just going, Mr. President, Mr. President.
Also, when that photographer walks in, right after he's been with Putney Swope, he walks into the president's bedroom. And he's just like, hey, look at this. And
he does it to Putney Swope when they're starting to hook up, and he's like, hey, Mr. Swope, yeah, this is Nabisco, Coca-Cola. And he's like, get out of my room. Like, whatever he says to him. And then the next cut is him walking in on the president also hooking up. And it's just like he keeps interrupting these couples, like
just in their bedroom. Like he can just get right in their bedroom,
no
walk
rules.
right in.
Yeah, Mr. President, look at my work. It's Nabisco. It's He's like, oh, you did great. And then the wife is like,
would you like to join us?
And he's like,
and
the
the president's like, did you vote for me? Yeah, okay. Like,
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. You voted for me. And then the guy jumps in the bed, shakes his shirt off, and like hugs them.
He like hugs them, and
he like hugs them, and they're all just like, no! Like start laughing. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like, oh my god, I can't believe that scene, and I love it. I love how it ends. It just dissolves out as well.
Yeah, that one dissolves out. That's a proper dissolve, though. It made me feel like I was watching a goddamn TV show.
I liked it.
Yeah, I that's like a little gem. I love that movie. Okay, so, and if you aren't sure how to watch this movie, because this is a difficult movie to find, our copy came from the Criterion Collection. So we'll throw them a little plug in here. We got
They
from
need
the
it.
Eclipse series. Yeah, they really need that.
They really
so
need
you guys
that
need to buy their
plug.
movies, keep them in business.
Another line that I wrote down is they're like, Putney Swope, did you sleep with your wife before you married her? He's like, not a wink.
Not a wink.
It's so good.
It's a great joke. Not a wink.
I love it so much.
Yeah. There's so many jokes in that movie. It's like really comparing it to Airplane is a good comparison because it is just
Totally
like
is.
gag after gag after gag.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know, the way it's presented to you, you're kind of like you can almost forget that you're watching a comedy.
Yeah. It's not. It's also not as like. Well, I don't know. I was about to say it's not as like fucking like lampoony and just like. But it kind of is as well because also they just have four girls jumping around with their.
Oh, for sure.
With their tits out.
Yeah.
Just like,
for a while. That seems like a
yeah.
fraction. It's
It's
a fraction
just like
of the movie.
it's just like psychedelia, like kind of experimental comedy.
Yeah, that's 100% what it is. And like it definitely feels like it's in the vein of like early National Lampoon stuff. Like Doug Kinney probably saw this movie and loved it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like that definitely like that feels like that kind of stuff.
For sure.
They're appealing to a male audience.
Yeah.
At the same time too.
Like a younger like male audience that's probably fed up with.
And female audience too. There's moments where there's like.
I think just probably like just a younger audience. Like
yeah.
it's just like more like I don't know, just I feel like it really
It's
is
for
like
a
a
specific
political
young
it's a political
people.
movement at the same time as being like a ridiculous
Movie,
just comedy.
Yeah, there's the edge of the political edge to it and the social satire and stuff that's going on in it. Definitely elevates it up over from being like just like an absurdism comedy movie.
Yeah.
Like it has
Just
like
like about
purpose.
sex and
Yeah.
gross, you know.
It's like
shit
making a
like that.
point about like exploitation in general.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it feels like the guy who made it was doing heroin and LSD. And he was.
Yeah. All right.
He was.
Well, we'll never know. Honestly, we don't know this fucking person.
Robert Downey Sr. We know enough about his life to know that he was doing heroin and
Yeah.
LSD when he made
So I'm
that
just-
movie.
I had honestly forgot about who made this movie while we were talking about it. Because I was just like, all right, yeah, fuck some Mel Brooks.
Yeah, Mel Brooks wasn't doing that. Robert Downey
Some Mel
Sr. was
Brooks guy.
absolutely doing that.
I know, it's crazy. Oh.
I love how he's credited. Robert Downey Sr. a Prince, or just Robert
A
Downey
Prince.
a Prince.
Yeah.
Because Junior would have only been 4 years old when this movie came out.
He really made it.
He did it. They both did it.
They both did it.
The dad is a weirdo artist, and the son is a Hollywood sellout.
He's not so much a sellout.
No,
I mean,
he's great. I love Robert.
He's pretty great. You know, he made it in those big Hollywood movies for sure, but not everyone who does is a sellout, I suppose.
Yeah, but he did make it in a franchise that's worthwhile.
Yeah,
it has a point.
And he probably didn't expect it either.
Yeah, he's playing Iron Man in one movie. It turned into literally the next 12 years of his life.
Yeah, just
the most successful franchise
like,
of all
fuck,
time.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get the fuck out of this franchise.
I'm done with this shit, guys. He said he's done with it twice now.
Yeah.
I guess after Infinity War.
Yeah, but see, like, even
then I don't even know.
Then, like, I feel like it's really easy if Robert Downey quits to keep Iron Man in the universe.
100%. I don't think Iron Man's done with
Because
it.
it doesn't even matter. Like, you can literally just have Iron Man in it.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, hey, Robert Downey, like, we'll throw you, like, fucking couple bucks. couple $100,000
Couple
or
million,
fucking
like million,
whatever,
yeah.
like, for just, like, a voiceover for fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah. He can go into the studio for 2 weeks out of his year and get a few $1 million.
2 weeks not even, dude. Like, if they're gonna put him in a movie, he's gonna have like 3 lines. Like, there's like, send him $500,000.
More than that. That guy gets paid so much more than that.
I know, but like, come on, Robert Downey, 3 lines. Like, just take $500,000.
You don't even need it.
I'm just kidding. It's Disney. They can totally give you whatever the fuck.
They'll pay you $10 million.
Whatever
if they want,
you need.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
Sounds scary.
Yeah.
Lots of money just being thrown around for voiceovers.
It's a lot of money being thrown around in that franchise in general.
And then they'll just clone Robert Downey Jr. like he does in Civil War at the very beginning, and then they'll just have him. Like, don't worry about it. We'll pay you, you know, for using your clone.
Yeah.
But you can do your other shit.
You can be
What if
a serious
that's
actor.
what if that's a future, and then but like it's just like you get sued? It's like, hey, I didn't tell you could use my clone. Like,
No, there's a movie about that.
really?
Yeah, it stars I want to say it's Nicole Kidman, but I could be wrong. It might be Julianne Moore, where she's the first celebrity to sign up to where they create a celebrity clone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then it's like it's like a horror film,
Oh my
and
god.
she's like playing herself. They don't change her name, so it's like Nicole. I think it's Nicole Kidman, but it's
Really?
like yeah,
Oh
it's
my
supposed to be really
God.
good. I'm gonna look that up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's like a real. We should watch that. Dude,
Yeah,
that
that sounds very interesting.
I've not seen it, so
Thought I just came up with it.
they did it. They did it.
Oh my god! I can't believe they have made this film.
I can't believe they did it.
But anyway, those are the movies that we watched, and we had a pretty good time doing it. We didn't necessarily want to just talk about the first 2, so we watched another one.
Yeah, we weren't really a big fan of the first one. I think, like in terms of doing it on the podcast.
We weren't a fan of talking about it for so long.
Yeah, and we talked about it for a decent amount of time already. Like we did. I think we spent the most time talking about that movie
Probably
on
did.
this podcast.
Probably did.
Yeah, but last night we weren't feeling it.
We have an affinity for ridiculous shit, and that movie has some ridiculous shit in it. And it's also very just like, you know, you can talk about, you know, things that you don't like
Yeah.
very easily.
Yeah.
You can just be like, this was a problem.
Yeah.
But if you have no problems, then it's kind of just like,
You're
all
just
right,
like,
well,
this is a great
what else
movie.
was good?
Yeah.
You know?
What else about that? You want to talk about the scenes that really
You
worked
want to
for
just
you?
talk about all those scenes that we liked?
Yeah. Go watch those goddamn movies. We said it's good. Just go watch it. You'll know what we were talking about.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But thank you for listening. It's
Thank
been a
you.
good time.
Yeah, it's a great one. It's been a great one.
Oh, it's been such a good one. Episode 3.
Episode 3. Welcome. Come here.
Welcome to the end. Thank you so much.
episode.
Signing off. We both talking at the same time.
Before we sign off, we have to do our ratings.
Oh.
We gotta do our ratings, dude.
And goodbye. All right. Let's do our ratings. Let's see. Start with Conan. You can start off with Conan.
Conan. All right. I'll give Conan like 6 out of. No, I'll give him 12 out of 19 crucifixions.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Perfect way to end a movie.
It's a great one. Yeah, this is not what I said in the...
He said that's one way to end a movie.
Yeah, because it is dragging so long by that part. You know, it's just like a gas. Like he's already nailed to the tree. There's no way he can come back to life. They brought him back to life. They brought him back to life. They did it.
I'll give it a dozen red rubies. And let's see. That's it. That's all it deserves. That's not good. Just to let you guys know. I don't know you, but what you know about
Dozen Red Rubies
rubies.
bought them like one night in that movie. So
Yeah.
I like that rating.
The guy was just the fucking king was just throwing them rubies.
Yeah, they literally
On
hand
the
him gauntlets
ground.
and he's just like fill them up. And that was Max von Sydow. He's the best actor in the whole movie. One scene.
Yeah. That was I forgot about that scene.
One goddamn scene.
He's just like almost gonna punish them, and literally just like
He's just like, I like what you did. I hate that guy.
You guys are awesome. You're totally fucking drunken thieves. I'm rich too.
Yeah, let me give you so much money. Do a job.
Junun, I don't think we even need to rate. Literally, just go watch that movie. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to give that any kind of
it was
star rating.
fan-fucking-tastic.
It was a
It
great
was
movie. Watch it.
super
It's
awesome.
impossible to rate. Just like go watch it.
Yeah,
It's
just
fucking
go watch
great.
it. It's music. If you like the music, just keep on listening to it. It's
Yeah.
super good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
all
cool.
you
If
need
you,
to
if you
know.
like Radiohead, you're already halfway there.
Yeah,
You know, if you like
If you
Paul
like Paul
Thomas
Thomas
Anderson,
Anderson
you're
movies.
you got the other half, and like
you're gonna be fine.
if you're a fan of
Music at all.
music, it's just like it's so good.
Creative process. Just
It's
watch
awesome.
it.
It's
Yeah.
really cool. Watch it, listen to it, love it.
Love it. We loved it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
But Putney Swope.
Putney Swope.
Putney Swope. Oh man, let me think about this, dude. Oh my god, it's so good. I don't know what to say about it.
I mean, I loved it. I'm like, whatever rating I'm gonna give it, it's gonna be like a full like endorsement. You know.
Absolutely. Like I don't see any like. It's hard to give something a rating like blank out of blank when you're literally just like, this movie is fantastic. Literally, just go watch it. Like I have no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. If
Like
if a Molotov cocktail into a basketball like
Backboard.
container of like a headboard attached to a cube of money is bad, and it was good. That's good. That's a good one. And a dropped pistol is bad. And this movie is a fucking beautiful woman jumping on an airplane. So that's my rating.
That's very good. Jesus Christ.
It's the only way I
sir.
can rate that movie.
What he said. I can't even fucking try to like top that. This movie is amazing. There's a lot of wonderful jokes in it.
It's very funny.
It's very funny. It's very good.
Very funny.
Watch it with your dad.
Your dad's probably would love it. If your dad's anything like my dad, he's gonna laugh and then say something vaguely racist at the end.
And you're gonna be like, Dad,
Just go, Dad.
we don't think the same.
You come from a different generation.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, yeah. We just watched Putney Swope, and you're gonna be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I took acid with Robert Downey in the '60s. So fuck yourself, Dad.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck off. Fuck off. All right. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.